Today we're going to be doing our post-NFL Combine mock draft, an insane combine with so many records broken, so many athletes, and so many risers in the first round of the draft. Let's hop into it. And unsurprisingly, it doesn't matter how many risers there were, no one's rising above Mendoza. Mendoza didn't participate in any of the drills. He did not run or anything like that, but he did do interviews, I believe, and he talked with multiple teams. Don't really get the point in that. We know he's going to be a Raider. He talked with the Raiders and stuff, and I think he knows just as well as anybody else that he's a lock for that number 1 overall pick. He's willing to throw with his guys. I think that's a smart decision on his part. Not risk anything. Don't want to look worse when you already have that number 1 pick locked up. There's nothing you can do to make your value look better. So there, you could, but your value is not going to rise to get you a better spot or anything. So really, not much to say about Mendoza here. I just feel like he didn't really rise due to the combine. I don't think he really needed to.
He did weigh in at 237, which is kind of insane. That's I think a pound heavier than Josh Allen.
Yeah, that's 12
Ridiculous.
pounds heavier than they had him on here.
Yeah, so he just added some water weight or something, tried to get up there and weigh, because that's all he did at the combine was measure and weigh in. In one of the interviews, one of the teams told him to take drugs or something.
Yeah, they told him to get arrested so that they could take
him.
They wanted him so that he could fall down the board or whatever. Personally, don't think he's that good of a prospect enough to tell him to get arrested.
Crazy glaze from a team that has no chance of taking him.
Right, so kind of weird, but buttering him up. The interview with plenty of teams, seen plenty of reels about him from the NFL, so they're milking it. We'll see how he does in the NFL. We've talked about him plenty of times, so we're not going to touch on him too much here, but he's going to be a Raider. I don't think anyone's arguing with that. The real discussion begins here at number 2, and I think this is immediately getting super interesting because of the risers and the fallers at the combine. We saw lots of big things out of the edge rushers and the linebackers, 2 positions that the Jets are looking heavily into, with players like Arvell Reese, David Bailey, Ruben Bain, all being the top 3 bet-on favorites before the combine, and they were all big movers in the combine, according to most people.
Not Bain, but yeah.
Bain is a huge mover, according to most people.
No, it wasn't.
According to most people.
Okay, bro.
Even if you don't think he moved, most people.
It's like saying, this guy, he's 5'9", and then measures in at 5'9". Oh my gosh, he's 5'9".
No, no one thought he had the shortest arms in NFL history, or NFL Combine history, which is what he had.
Well, he didn't.
He did.
Credit to Cassius Howell.
Now because Howell, but obviously before that he did. And so no one expected that. It was worse than they were expecting. And obviously I don't think he's going to fall as much as most people do. That's why I clarified most people, because most people think he's might not be in the top half of the first round. He might fall to bottom 10 in the first round.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Which is just not going to happen. But a lot of people are saying that, which is why I was saying most people. And so I think all 3 of these, and obviously Arvell Reese and David Bailey both showcased a lot at the combine. David Bailey kind of up and down because he had an incredible 40 time, but at the same time his agility drills were interesting. I don't know if you went back and watched those.
I saw them. I didn't think it was too bad.
I thought it was
horrific.
Horrific.
People are overplaying how bad it is.
I thought it was horrific for a guy who's a speed edge rusher. His best thing is that spin move, his ability to get off the ball quick and all that. And obviously he's a fast guy. We saw it in his 40 time, but you got to have the agility, in my opinion, especially when he's so good side to side, supposedly. We haven't done our deep dive on him, but I've heard a lot of things about him being so good side, laterally, and then not being able to move laterally is just interesting, in my opinion. But I'll let you take the floor. Who do you want to look towards here?
I'm taking Arvell Reese.
Really?
He's a favorite before the combine, goes into the combine, runs a 4.46, I believe. Absolutely insane for an edge rusher or linebacker, whatever people want to put him at. He was an insane athlete for. His size was a little concerning to me. I'm surprised no one else is talking about that. Obviously, we kind of knew it before that he's very undersized for a guy playing on the edge. Didn't really play edge in college at all, so I think it's a bit of a weird projection here for the 2nd overall pick. But, this is just where the NFL seems to be going, so I'm just going to, this predictive mock, I'm going to make the pick.
I could really see Arvell Reese being a shocking fall here in the draft. I could see him being the big, shocking player of the draft where he does end up falling, because everyone's saying he's this incredible athlete, which he is, but I feel like it's also being overhyped how good of an athlete he is, because like you said, he is very undersized, which makes the athleticism, the speed, not as not as cool when
I
you're
also
undersized.
don't think he hit the arm length threshold.
So
Or he was at the very bottom end of it.
To me, he feels like a player that NFL teams are not going to like as much as the general public does. I could see the Jets still taking him, obviously, but I think if he gets past the Jets, he could fall down. I don't really see any of the teams here taking him till like probably 7 of the Commanders. If they passed on him, he would just keep falling, in my opinion. So I think that there's a very real possibility, because I think in the top 10, there's only 2 teams I could see taking him, which is not the recipe for success as a top 10 player. And a guy who is going to. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, because I think there's a very good chance.
I mean, I could see Bengals, Chiefs.
I don't see. There's no way the Chiefs take him.
Why?
No way.
Why?
Because you don't take an edge. You're not taking this guy to only play edge. Like, they're just not in the top 10. So
they like playing 3 linebackers. So
I don't think they would take him in the top 10 when they have other holes. Like, if the Jeremiah Love's there, you're not passing on him to take Arvell Reese. That doesn't make any sense.
But like, that's what most people would want them to do there. It's a higher value position.
I don't know. Again, I do think there's a very high likelihood that the Jets do take him, but I think that there's also a high likelihood that no one's even considering, and that's that he does fall. I feel like he could be a faller in the draft. So
I don't know. I haven't heard like almost anyone talk about his negative, so we'll see.
It's so weird that everyone loves him so much, just because I just feel like even though he was really fast, like, again, like, if you're undersized, that speed doesn't mean that much to me. Like, I'm expecting you to be fast if you're a high pick and you're undersized. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't prove anything to me at the combine. He's just a good athlete, like people said, and not much else. So I don't really know. But made it to this point in the video, you should subscribe. You're probably enjoying the video, and it helps us out a ton. But let's get back to the video. Moving on to 3 for the Arizona Cardinals. An interesting situation here, because there's only 2 positions we're looking at. I think we've looked at every single time, and that's tackle and edge for them. They need one more edge on the other side, and they need one more tackle on the other side. So it's that second position for them at both, which is a good spot to be in. If you're picking at 3 and you're really only 2 big holes are the second player at that position, obviously you play 2, so it's a little bit different, but they're in a good spot, right? And they're picking 3 here. They have their pick of the litter when it comes to the tackles. Arvell Reese is obviously off the board, but you get to pick the real edges, which is, I think, what they would much rather have in this situation. And so, you're looking at guys like Maui Noah, Fano, all those, the same picks we've looked at every time, but you're also looking at guys like David Bailey, who, like we discussed, I think's been a riser for sure. He's been rising, it feels like the whole time. Like, he's just slowly been rising. But the combine kind of solidified that when he ran that fast 40, whatever he ran, 4.4 something.
I thought it was 4.51.
Was it? I thought it was a 4.45.
No shot.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm tripping. But he ran a very good 40, whatever it was. And I feel like he is just going up even more now. People are obsessed with him. Saw a guy absolutely glazing him the other day, saying that he is by far the best prospect in the entire class. So, I mean, there's definitely a wide variety on him as well of where he could go. Because I'm not really sure how much NFL teams love him. I know that the general public is loving him right now, but I feel like Arvell Reese, we've had a lot of news that the Jets want to take him. I feel like we don't have that with Bailey necessarily. We've been like, oh, maybe the Jets will take him. But, has anyone really been linked to David Bailey? Not that I can think of.
I mean, no one's really been linked to, almost anyone.
Which makes this draft interesting. But it feels like in the top 10, you at least have an idea most of the time of, where people are being linked to. And with David Bailey, I just don't really know where he's going to go if he doesn't go 2. But it's something I would strongly consider here. You want to take a pure pass rusher, a guy who's rising. And so for me, it's just literally do I want to take tackle or do I want to take David Bailey right now? And so which one do I want to take for them? I really do just think tackle makes more sense. So I'm just going to go tackle. I'm going to go Maui Noah. I just think it makes more sense for the Cardinals and their needs and stuff, especially with, like we discussed last time, I think Paris Johnson is coming up on that extension. So getting another young tackle in there right now, right before you have to pay the other one, might be a smart idea. And so I think I'm just going to go Maui Noah and make it simple.
Yeah, probably best tackle in the draft at 3. I mean, not exactly the best tackle class. I wouldn't say he's worth the 3rd overall pick necessarily, but Cardinals are in a bit of a rough spot here. So.
Yeah, for sure. So you got 4 for the Titans.
All right, this is an interesting spot. So they just traded away T'Vondre Sweat for an edge rusher.
Mm-hmm.
Edge is not off the table, but less likely.
Yeah, I think that's something we heavily discussed last time. Is edge really does feel like it's a lot less likely, in my opinion, because they just went out and made that trade. They made it known, got rid of T'Vondre Sweat, opened up a need in the interior, and so it really depends. Like, where do you think they're going to go with this pick? But like the edge class feels like one of the strongest for sure, positional group wise. So like you still need another edge, but do you want to clog up that positional group?
Do I want to do this? I mean, I think it's a bit overreacting, but
I know what you're going to do, and it's definitely overreacting.
Oh no. I mean, you just don't get athletes like this every year.
Dude, no shot you're going to take him.
His production's so bad.
Well, walk us through what you're thinking here.
I'm thinking about Caleb Banks here to replace T'Vondre Sweat. He had an amazing combine, 6'6". I think he ran like a 5-second flat 40, which is insane for that size. His explosive drills were also really good.
Mm-hmm.
Before, I've seen him mocked as high as like 7. Now he had a great combine. Titans have, I guess, not really a huge need. They have Jeffrey Simmons, but he's not exactly like a nose tackler. Right? He kind of like moves all around, more of a 3 tech. Shoot.
Yeah, but is Caleb Banks going to go at 4? Like, really 4?
I was just considering that. I don't think I'm going to do that.
I don't think you should do that. I don't think that'd make too much sense.
Such a hard spot. They're in such a bad spot right now.
I think it's very obvious what position they would target in this situation.
It's not, though.
I think it is. It's receiver.
Is it, though?
Dude, their number 1 receiver right now is IU Maynor.
There's other places you can address that. Dylan Thieneman. That's the pick. What?
You're joking, bro. You have to be joking.
Obviously.
Thieneman's not going 4.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I have to go receiver.
I think it's the obvious pick. It's the only thing they can do here.
I don't feel too great about their edges right now, but they did just invest in both.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm going Carnell Tate. I mean, I feel like if someone's going at 4, it's going to be him.
They're just not in a good spot as a team,
if
we're being honest. They're just a bad team. Like, that's why they're picking here at 4. They have plenty of holes, but there's only so many holes you can address, especially with Maui Noah going off the board and all that stuff. So I think that they have to address receiver. It's probably their biggest hole because it's just such a massive hole.
I just don't know if I'd take any of these receivers here at 4. It's a bit rich. Tate just measured
Anything you
at
take.
like 6'2", bit shorter than we expected, but his arms were long, his hands were huge.
So your argument for, I don't want to take Tate here at 4 because it feels a bit rich, so I'm going to go Caleb Banks. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
I mean,
you want to talk about too rich? That's about 20 picks too rich. So,
jeez.
Yeah, I don't know. I have
Caleb Banks is going a lot earlier than 24.
Obviously, but I don't know. People are really obsessed with his athleticism, I think. He didn't even have that good of a season. Haven't watched too much of Caleb Banks, but I don't know. Not necessarily the player I usually like. It's just the athlete that didn't do anything in the regular season, and so he rose up the board because he ran fast. It's not what you need in the NFL.
Well in the Senior Bowl, but okay.
It's not what you need in the NFL. You need a
we
good
have
player.
the 5th overall pick now.
To the Giants, you got a couple options here. I think, what did we go? Did we go Mekhi Lemon last time? I think that's a very reasonable possibility that I didn't really consider before. But it's definitely something that could easily happen. But I obviously want to go a different way here. We've talked about corner plenty of times for them. A lot of the corners didn't run at the combine, which I thought was interesting. Jermon McCoy didn't run. Delane didn't run. Cisse didn't run either, I don't think, right?
Yeah, Cisse didn't run.
Terrell didn't run.
Yeah.
Like, everybody didn't run. So they all just decided that they did not want to risk their stock, I guess, collectively.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. But you could also go there. Obviously, you have a big hole there. Cordell Flott is a free agent as well, who is probably their best corner. So, obviously a hole there. You could go Caleb Downs. We've talked about him plenty of times for them, as he can just play all over the place in a bad secondary. That's definitely going to help them. So you've got plenty of options here.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, you're not looking at edge. Obviously, you have one of the stronger edge groups. But I think that since we went receiver last time, we're looking in that secondary once again. We've mocked Delane here a couple times. I don't know if we've ever mocked Jermod McCoy, but do I think Jermod's going to jump up that high?
No, he's not a riser right now.
Depends how good his or as a pro day, if he has one, would be.
Brennan Thompson just ran a 4.26.
Oh, jeez.
That receiver, interesting.
Jeez. But yeah, I don't know. I think that I think I'm probably gonna go corner here. I think I'm just gonna go with Delane. They just need a corner so bad. And Delane is a very well loved prospect. He's just your play smart, play well, textbook type of corner. Nothing too crazy size wise or athleticism wise, but he's gonna get the job done. And he's exactly what they need to slot in, play aggressive, play well, and play textbook.
Yeah.
I think it's as simple
You
as that.
took Delane?
Mm-hmm. So I don't think there's anything else that needs to be said about that. It's probably their biggest need right now, and so I think you got a chance to address it, you probably take it.
Man, I don't really feel that comfortable with any of their corners, especially if they don't bring back Flott.
Exactly.
Honestly, should try to get out of there if I'm being honest.
I agree.
All right. So at pick number 6, you see
The Browns.
Tough pick. I think I'm just gonna go. I don't feel great about. I feel like I've gotten all the. I feel like the draft got way harder with the combine, and now this is. I don't have any easy picks.
And the Browns are only looking at 2 positions here.
You think so?
I know so.
Well, that's not
Pretty
true.
confident in that.
Lineman value is not here.
I actually think that there is a interesting pick you could make with who was is Devin Bush a free agent?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting pick you could make with the combine.
Yeah, let's just. Like, why?
JOK is probably not going to play.
Yeah.
Devin Bush could go. If Devin Bush is gone, then you could slot Sonny Styles in. Who looks
Why would
incredible.
you take a linebacker when you just drafted what's his name? Literally the D-Roy.
Schlesinger, but you can play 2.
Yeah, but like, are we
Makes a
seriously
difference, don't we?
investing the 33rd pick in the draft and then the next season addressing with the 6th pick in the draft?
I mean, probably not, but Sonny Styles is a one-of-a-kind athlete. I like Caleb Banks, but I hate Sonny Styles.
I think I'm just gonna go with Mekhi Lemon.
It's a horrible pick.
I mean, he's a real safety blanket for your quarterback. Obviously, he's just not like the best complement to his guys. I just think Tyson's going to end up falling a bit farther with Tate, who I think is a great pick for the Browns at 6. He's not going to be there in this situation, I mean. And, yeah, I can rely on Mekhi Lemon to be my wide receiver 1 out the gate. I'm not saying he'll be an insane wide receiver 1, but I feel pretty confident that it'll give your quarterback a guy he can rely on. With Harold Fannin, like, that's not a bad top 2 weapons on your team, especially with what they had at the start of last year. That's pretty good. And they have to at least sign 2 or 3 linemen that they're okay starting in free agency to make this not that pressing of a need, because Maui Noah is off the board in about 75% of mocks at this point, and then Fano is not worth the 6th overall pick. From
A lot of people think Fano's better than Maui Noah.
I mean, I don't know about that. But either way, I don't even know if Maui Noah I would take at 6.
I think they're taking whichever one's available there.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. But
I don't know. I just think that they need to do things to make that pick not be forced into taking a
I just
offensive
don't
lineman.
see why they take Mekhi Lemon here. I think this is a horrible pick, only because like the only receiver you have on your roster that's startable right now is Jerry Jeudy, and he loves to play in the slot a lot. So why would you get a guy who
I don't care
plays
about
the
Jerry
slot?
Jeudy. He is not affecting me from taking the best receiver on the board.
Ultimately, if you like all 3 of these guys, though, you're not taking the guy who plays in the slot. When you
I
could
just
take a
don't-
lineman, which is a much more pressing need,
You're just reaching on a lineman.
you're
I think
reaching on Mekhi Lemon.
I don't think Mekhi Lemon is a reach at 6.
Yeah, because you're obsessed with them. I don't think the Browns are going to be obsessed with
Why
him.
not?
He's
He's an easy target to
I
hit.
saw the way he interviewed, bro. Like, he's
Right.
not rising on people's
Like,
boards.
I don't care how he interviews.
I do. Teams do. He's not rising on people's boards talking like that. I'll tell you that much.
nothing wrong with what he was doing. It just looked like he was on something.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, you're right. Then it takes Spencer Fano, bro. Like, that's how he was talking. Like,
Bro, it's not a big deal.
It is.
It's not. No,
how you
you're not
present
moving
yourself-
up or down the board because
Yes, you
you
are.
tilted your head and mumbled. Like,
if in an interview, and it looks like he's gonna act like that way in an interview, you have to be like, you have to present yourself. You have to be a good interview for a team to
that
want
was a
you.
good interview. It's everywhere.
Luther
Everyone's talking about
Luther
it.
Burden would have been a first round pick if he was mature last season.
Yeah, that doesn't show Mekhi Lemon's not mature at all.
That's what it kind of seemed like to me. That's the vibes I got.
Okay, bro.
And so, but either
we're not like, oh, are you mature? Oh, you're not? Oh, you're going to drop down 20 picks because you tilted
I
your head at the combine.
did not say you should drop 20 picks, but I did say that I don't think you should go at 6 to the Browns when you have
They're not in a good position right now.
They have the worst
They have to
offensive
trade
line
down.
situation. They are going to take an offensive lineman in this draft. I would be shocked if they didn't.
If the board falls like this, someone should just trade up for Sonny Styles.
Sure, but I think with that, since we're doing this without trades, I think they're taking a lineman every single time. And if they're taking receiver, it's Tate. They're not taking Lemon.
No, Tate's off the board, and so is Maui Noah.
Then
so.
you take Fano.
Okay,
One of those three guys is
not
going to be
doing
there.
that at 6, but okay.
I mean, you've done it multiple times.
I don't think I have.
You definitely have
Okay,
done
well,
it.
I disagree
at
with
least
my
once.
former self.
At 7 here, pretty easy pick, I think.
Very easy.
Very easy. We're gonna go with Jeremiah Love. No, I'm just kidding. So, I think that there's a guy who rose a lot in the combine.
I think he's going earlier.
Surprised we haven't taken him yet. Definitely, I don't really know where he could have gone.
3.
You think 3?
He could go at 2, 3,
Yeah, but you took Arvell Reese. If you're taking
and 5.
If you're
2,
taking-
3, and 5.
you've taken an Ohio State linebacker because of athleticism. You're taking Sonny Styles over Arvell Reese, in my opinion. But I'm going to take Sonny Styles here. I mean, they need a linebacker pretty badly with Bobby Wagner coming up on retirement, and he might not even get re-signed. Is that right?
Definitely not getting re-signed.
So, just an insane athlete. Sonny Styles had maybe a top 5 performance at the combine ever. Just a ridiculous combine. Definitely the best linebacker combine ever. I think he broke the record for linebacker speed. Broke it for vertical as well, I think.
Definitely for vertical. I
Yeah.
don't know about speed.
I think it was speed.
No way.
I don't know. He
There's
had,
undersized linebackers. You definitely ran fast.
he just had a ridiculous
He ran a
combine.
4.45. He wasn't even close.
Are you sure?
Or 4.46.
Either way, he had a
At 6'5", 220, whatever, or 230. Like, that's
yeah.
insane.
He had a ridiculous combine. He's a ridiculous athlete. So tall, smart, got great instincts. I mean, he's just a prototypical linebacker but like 4 extra inches of a prototypical linebacker. Like, he is ridiculous, and he's going to give you everything you need. And the Commanders need pieces and to slot some guy in the middle of your defense to be the captain of your defense for years and years to come, to start rebuilding that defense, because you just need anyone. I think that's a perfect place to start, is in the middle and build out. And linebackers are so underrated. You can get an insane one here at 7.
Yeah, I do think he has a couple things to work on. He's not the perfect prospect, but with, the frame, the athleticism, honestly, he's a great tackler too. It's just sometimes it feels like he engages with blocks when he could avoid them. When he gets engaged, he struggles to shed. Just basic things like that, which maybe early on he's not an amazing linebacker, but by year 2, I mean, I'd be kind of surprised if he wasn't top 5 at some point by the end of his second year.
Yeah.
Like, he's a guy who I'd predict to be the best linebacker in the NFL at one point in his career.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
He just
high
has a couple
praise.
things to clean up.
I mean, he's got all the potential.
Mhm.
Reminds me of Eamon Warry from last year. Obviously, different positions in different scenario, but in the sense of like all the highest potential you could imagine.
Mm-hmm.
So, moving on to 8 though for the Saints.
I mean, Jeremiah Love's a popular pick. I think he rose a little bit. I'm not necessarily rose, but I mean, that was a very good time for him. Is there anyone
Very
else
good.
I
Such
would
a
want to go here? Probably not. I think I'm just going to send Jeremiah. Well, actually, I'm going Caleb Banks.
What?
I think he's going to go really high. He's got all the tools you want from a defensive lineman. And he looks so good at the Senior Bowl, so good in the one-on-ones. I mean, he's being compared to Chris Jones right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy who's made more money than anyone since the season ended.
Holy rise, just completely randomly.
He was a guy talked about for us with our first pick at 52, and then the season ended. He went to the Senior Bowl, went to the Combine, and now
He just
he's
made
a
himself
possible
millions
top
of
10,
dollars.
Yeah, possible top 10 pick.
Again, just not the type of player it seems I like. I'm excited to do a deep dive on him because why?
Yeah, I haven't watched him.
What did he
but-
do in the season? Because apparently he wasn't that good. Like we knew
Did he play the whole season?
he had. Oh, he only played 3 games.
Yeah, that's
maybe
what I was
a
thinking.
big reason why. But we knew he was a good athlete before, I assume. So like, obviously not this good, but like it shouldn't.
At that
don't know.
weight, that height, that 40, like
I know it's very impressive, but I also don't get a lot of scenarios where my defensive tackle's running in a straight line, racing another guy. So I don't know how that's going to really help me too much, but
it just shows like explosiveness, athleticism.
yeah, I think the agility drills show explosiveness. I think his get off was very good on the 40, which is way more important than your time, in my opinion. But I don't know. I just don't feel like the 40 time is not as important for a defensive tackle as it is for a running back, as a corner, at like a lot of other positions that actually use that speed in scenarios. And I feel like defensive tackles are using agility, footwork, and power to win and to get past their guy. They're very rarely are they like, maybe every once in a while he'll be able to win a race to the outside against a quarterback and like really show that off, but that's gonna be few and far between, and I don't know if that's worth pushing him up 20 spots randomly. So I don't know.
Well,
to me, he shouldn't rise this much, but he probably will.
Yeah, I mean, who's their best defensive lineman right now? DT, I mean.
No idea.
Is it Brzee? Like, I don't know who else is on that team. And Brzee's not good. Like, they need to fix DT right now. It's one of their biggest needs.
Well, at 9 here for the Chiefs, this is interesting because the board's falling very differently than most mocks. And what's interesting is David Bailey and Jeremiah Love are both still here when they were both risers, I feel like, at the combine, but it's hard to like kind of slot them in randomly.
I mean, I feel like David Bailey kind of did what I thought he would do in the 40. Jeremiah Love kind of went a little faster than I expected, but I also don't think the 40 for running backs is even a big deal. Like, if you're great, it's a big deal, and if you're terrible, it's a big deal. So I don't really think he rose up any draft positions.
Love?
Yeah.
I feel like he did such a good he had really good time for him. Like, really good time. He's going to just be where he is, which is right here at 9. That's where I'm going to take him. I think that this has been mocked here a lot. The Chiefs are looking for offensive weapons, and Jeremiah Love probably showed them what they wanted to see. So I think it makes perfect sense to go with him here, as they were already heavily considering him, and now they know he's just a complete prospect. He's such a good running back prospect. I considered Bailey because, it's kind of weird that he hasn't gone. But like I said, it's really weird to slot him in if he doesn't go at 2. Like I said at the beginning of this mock draft, it's just kind of a weird spot to slot him in anywhere. It doesn't really feel like the perfect fit. So we'll see where he ends up going. But him and Caleb Downs still on the board here at 10. One of them's going to fall out of the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Which one's it going to be? Or both? You're going to take somebody else? Okay.
No, I'm taking David Bailey.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I did see that the Bengals did meet with Caleb Downs at the Combine for whatever that's worth. I think he'd be a great pick for them as well, but they need an edge rusher. And, I mean, their edge rushers are really bad, but I don't really know too much about how good they are against the run, but both of them have good size. I assume they can kind of defend the run.
Mm-hmm.
Early on, David Bailey's probably going to be a guy who plays on later downs mostly and can get after the quarterback, which is what they really need because Shamar Stewart, Miles Murphy, and Joseph Osai aren't exactly getting to the quarterback right now. So
they don't do.
I think this might be their best pick they can make.
Yeah,
if he somehow falls here, just because it's exactly
he really
what they
fits.
need.
Yeah, he really fits. And with the way people are talking about him, if he falls to 10, it'd be one hell of a steal. So I'm really excited to look at David Bailey more because this guy is being hyped to the moon right now with his athleticism and his ability against the quarterback and getting to him and taking him down. So I think this is going to be a very interesting situation to see where he falls to. But, we'll see. If he falls to 10 here, I think it's going to be very hard for the Bengals to pass.
Yeah, for sure.
Going to 11 here for the Dolphins.
Such an easy pick.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's different.
Okay. What is it?
I'm going to take McCoy still.
Oh, okay.
I'm not taking Downs, even though
that's crazy.
I think it makes some sense, but I think they need corner. And even if Downs plays a lot of slot, that's just not as valuable as a number 1 outside corner. And they just need a corner so bad. They need one so bad. So unbelievably terrible. So I'm going to go Jermon McCoy. He's an incredible prospect, even though he didn't play this season. I assume he's going to have a pro day. And I think he's going to rise up at that when he shows off that he's still got all the athleticism. And I think that it's going to be tough to pass on him here.
That's kind of insane.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, obviously outside corner is more valuable, but, Caleb Downs can play it like anywhere. You can move him everywhere. And for them, he'd be their best outside corner, their best slot corner, their best strong safety, and their best free safety.
Yeah, but you don't want him playing outside corner.
Well, they have to right now. I mean,
that's the problem. That's why you take an outside
Yeah, but
corner.
I'd assume that they'd do something in free agency, right?
Well, I'm also helping you out a little bit here at 12.
Caleb Downs.
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't seen this one. Maybe it's because he's at fallen here.
Right.
Which, I mean, I don't think the combine should change anything about what we think about Caleb Downs.
Right.
He measured in around where we expected. I don't know if he ran. If he did, it was just like whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, the tape shows off how good he is, so I don't think anything we saw at the combine should change where he goes. Obviously, a lot of this is because other players rose, and it was also just a unique scenario. I probably would have taken him at 5 to the Giants.
Caleb Downs is another player with a ton of outcome possibilities.
He can go anywhere.
Because it just depends. Does the NFL let a safety fall again? That is a perfect prospect on paper, but it's a safety, so they let him fall. It could happen again. That's what I had doing here. I had the Dolphins passing on him.
Dolphins fans would not be happy about that.
I don't know. Yeah, you can't be mad at getting Jermod McCoy. I don't think.
I mean, the board just fell amazing for them.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. They got their pick. So
I felt like early on we were making all these hard picks, and now we're like, well, now everyone's available who we didn't think would be, so it's just free.
Yeah, it's a weird mock draft, but that's why we do these over and over again. One of them is going to be close because you never know what's going to happen here on draft night, especially this far out. I mean, like last year, you had all these guys that were linked to certain people, right? Like you knew the Raiders wanted Genty. You knew that the Patriots wanted Will Campbell, like all those things, right? But right now, we don't have any of that. All we have is like, the Jets, I think, won Arvell Reese, and we know Mendoza's going 1. And so there's so many possibilities. And Caleb, I think people are going to be pretty mad seeing Downs here at 12, but, people got to realize that is a real possibility that people are like, well, he's a safety. We're going to pass on him and go for a different position. Like, we saw it happen with Kyle Hamilton, right?
Yeah, I think he was my number 1 player in the class.
Hamilton?
He was at least top 3. I don't remember my board. Maybe I'm missing someone.
Where did he go? Like 14?
14.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a real scenario that happens.
He was a guy who everyone was like, he won't get outside the top 10. And then he did because he's a safety.
Right. So, expect the unexpected is all I can say to that. So, moving on to 13. Dude, it's so weird seeing I can't say his name.
Thieneman.
I know. I say it wrong every single time.
Man.
Thieneman.
Oh my gosh.
No, I know. I was joking. But it's weird seeing him all the way up here because, he has risen a ton in the
first round
week or so. Yeah, all of a sudden, when he wasn't in a single one of our mock drafts till last, to the
pre-combine mock draft. Our first one he might have been.
He wasn't. I'm pretty confident.
Well, he's been. It's just the Vikings are kind of. Maybe we had him to the Vikings at one point, just because they basically just draft a safety in every single mock.
Yeah, maybe. But it's just weird seeing him up here. I don't think that the Rams safeties were necessarily bad this season.
No, I like them.
So, I don't think... the Rams are such a hard team to draft for at 13, I think. Obviously, you're not going receiver here, especially with Lemon off the board. You're not going edge. You could go corner. I think that corner is obviously, in my opinion, their biggest need. But... I'd much rather them have a Jermod McCoy or Mansour Delane, which is still a possibility, obviously not in this draft though. And so you could go a guy like Avian Terrell, but do you really want to? Probably not, because you want to develop him and you really want a guy who can slot in there, which is why we've talked about that so much. But there's just no one else I see as a possibility. So I'm just going to go Terrell, even though I hate it.
Oh, at 13?
I hate it. But what else do we do? I think they're going to trade out of this pick if it fell like this.
Ty Simpson.
I've done that before.
Yeah, I mean, I would have... Where would I have went here?
Is Ty Simpson... Did he throw?
Everyone's throwing. I haven't seen... I just know that every single quarterback said they were throwing besides Mendoza.
I want to watch Simpson. That'll be interesting. But, I mean, Simpson's a possibility. I just don't feel like there's that many possibilities for the Rams here. There's such a complete team all around that makes it very hard to guess. Because ultimately, what I think they're going to end up doing if McCoy is not here or Delane is not here, I think what they're going to say is, who is the number 1 player on our board that is left, and we'll just take him no matter what position he is. Because you're such a complete team, you just take best player available when you have the 13th pick.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what they're going to do, and there's no telling who they think is the best player available. Right, so I'm just going to take their positional need and move on. because I think
I think someone just trades up for Bane.
I can see that too.
Yeah, but he's gonna fall another pick because I'm taking Jordan Tyson.
Not Bane.
No,
They could use an edge rusher.
I just don't.
Like, pretty bad, actually. I mean, you got Mike
Just
Green
took
last
Mike
year.
Green.
Who I think's got a lot of potential still, obviously, but not really solved at edge rusher or anything.
Yeah. Do you already make the pick?
Yes, I already did.
Locked in. Does PFF not have it as a need? I didn't even think about it because it wasn't a need.
No, but I think that it definitely is.
Who's our other edge? Kyle Van Noy is their other one. May have cooked them.
May have cooked them, but that's okay because they still need Jordan Tyson too.
Offense is all that matters, guys. They have Jesse Minter. He'll do whatever he needs to do.
Yeah, he doesn't need high profile guys.
They also already have high profile guys at every other position, just not that one.
Yeah, and Kyle Van Noy's had double-digit sacks plenty of times. So
most of his career with the Ravens.
So he'll make it work.
Yeah, not a need at all. And I'm done with Zay Flowers at wide receiver.
Mike
even though
Green
he's
breakout.
Productive, I guess. I love Zay Flowers as a number 2. I think that'd be a perfect role for him. But Tyson, he's just he's a wide receiver 1. I think that's what he'll end up being if the medicals check out. Even if he gets hurt a few times a season, I mean, you still have Zay Flowers who can play as a number 1 receiver in theory, which he has been for the past 2.5 years. I just want a guy that he can rely on because he can't rely on Mark Andrews. Can't rely on Zay Flowers, 2 of the least clutch players in the NFL.
Yeah.
And most people would say it's on Lamar, but
I don't know how it's on him.
They're just so unclutch. He just has Derrick Henry. That's the only player on his offense he can rely on, and I want to add.
He's also
one.
unclutch. He seems to only fumble when it matters. So.
Oh well.
15 to the Bucks. Another very easy pick for me.
Very free.
Kenyon Sadiq.
Yeah.
Is going to the Bucks. I mean,
would not be surprised
if
he goes higher.
Combine, dude. Yeah, I don't know where he's going to go, but he's rising right now. Let me tell you, fastest combine in tight end history. At what is he? 225, 235.
Whoa! If he's 225, that'd be a problem. He's 240.
240. I thought he was 235. Maybe.
He's either 239 or 241.
Either way. Just very fast. I'm running 4.39, which is just absurd. He had I think it was 43.5-inch vertical. He had like an 11-foot broad jump. Just in a ridiculous combine. I mean, absurd. He's definitely rising to the talk of the town right now. Bucks need a tight end. They're not re-signing Cade Otton, it seems, and
why would you?
They could really use one. You can get a super athletic tight end. I know a lot of people talking about the Broncos getting him. He's not falling there.
Not anymore.
I've seen a lot of people be like, Bronco or Sean Payton's going to turn him into an all-time tight end or something. First of all, doesn't fit what Sean Payton likes regularly. Second of all, he's not getting to us. Mm-hmm. He's not getting to the Broncos. This guy was a ridiculous athlete, and he's going to rise up the board, which is interesting because he didn't have the best production, but like when you're that athletic, they believe they can turn you into something. So,
yeah, I guess.
So we'll see what they can do with them, but very easy pick here.
I mean, I think Tyler Warren might have had more yards in his 2 best career games than Sadiq did in his 14 or whatever, however many games he played.
Didn't Sadiq have like 600 yards?
Yeah. I don't know. Tyler Warren had a lot of like over 200-yard games.
Yeah, but he didn't have 300.
Okay, whatever. His 3 best games. There you go.
Anyway, 16 to the Jets.
So with our first pick, we took where does it show me my pick? Your picks. Okay. Arvell Reese. So Ruben Bain. Dude, I should have taken him to the Ravens because this doesn't make any sense. But let me see. They have Will McDonald, Arvell Reese.
This is a real possibility. If they're really worried about his short arms, he could keep falling.
But who cares about Ruben Bain? His arms are too short. We're going to take Dylan Thieneman.
Whoa. The safety.
The white boy who ran a 4.37, I believe. Super athletic. This is probably just way too high, but I mean, if you're fast, you basically go this high. If you're a projected second rounder, you rise up this much. Athleticism at the safety position is so important. And I was looking at, I think it was a gauntlet drill. It was so smooth. He was just straight line because I know a lot of people, I don't really understand how people evaluate that. I just like the guys that stay in the straight line and don't go super slow. And that's what he was doing. So
there you go. So 91 PFF grade, an insanely high PFF grade.
He's white, so you'd expect that at a safety.
He's a great prospect. He's really been rising a ton recently, and the combine solidified that, rose him even more. So this is a real possibility. He
Yeah.
could go at 16. Jets need a safety, and they get theirs here. So
Yeah,
pretty
bench
simple.
Tony Adams.
Bench Tony Adams at 17 here. We have the Lions. You could look at Ruben Bain, but do you want to pair up the T-Rexes together? Not really, right? You don't really want to have Aiden Hutchinson and Ruben Bain, but maybe that also proves they don't care about the short arm, so they're willing to take Ruben Bain.
I mean,
They stopped the slide.
Hutch basically fit the real thresholds. I don't remember what the actual arm length thresholds are, but he hit, I think it's 32, and that's kind of like the bar that you actually have to hit. But Bain obviously didn't.
I think I'm going to take Bain anyway. Stop the slide. I think
Obviously, if you didn't, there'd be an issue.
pair him up. We've taken Messidor plenty of times here at this pick, but Bain somehow fell to 17. The Lions are going to take that. Don't think you'd be very happy as a Packers fan
No.
to see Ruben Bain go there. And then you have one of possibly the best duos in the league in a couple seasons, maybe even this season, by the end of the season, depending on how good his rookie year is, with him and Hutch. I mean, that's just a ridiculous pass rush duo. And exactly what the Lions could use to help boost up that defense to get back to competing.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be like worst case scenario for me.
Yeah.
Because I think was it Ahmad Hosni or something? Is that the right guy, or is it someone else? Some
No,
guy.
that is not the right guy.
Yeah,
It's Muhammad.
Alquan Muhammad or whatever. I think that's his name. Anyway, he's a free agent, probably going to get a decent contract, and really was only productive because he played in that scheme next to Hutch. So, I mean, they can get a really good player there. That'd be scary.
Yeah, but I would love that. I love the Lions, so that'd be fun.
What a loser.
Hope he falls there. That'd be cool.
That would not be cool.
18 to the Vikings. So we're going to continue the trend.
I really just don't want to take a safety every time for the Vikings, but
There's nothing else to take.
what am I going to take Mike Washington here?
What about
Love
Peter
the
Woods?
combine, but yeah, I did think last time I did consider that Peter Woods didn't have the best combine. I mean, I just don't think his really moved him at all, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people were talking about whatever his name is, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren's combine as being disappointing, but he ran a 4.52, which at 6'2.5" or whatever he is, 220. I don't know exact weight, but he's a big safety. A 4.5 basically flat is really good for that size, and also it's not a guy that I can't put deep. Like corners, like you want at least under a 4.6. At safety, there are guys mid 4.6s who are just fine in the NFL. So he's like, that might even be above average speed. It's just because we're looking at him next to Thieneman, who's a lot smaller, that we're like, oh yeah, he fell. So I'm going to take him here just because I have to see other picks. I just never know what to do besides just take a safety. And I think McNeil-Warren, from what I've seen, is better than Thieneman. Just a little less athletic, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he was ahead of Thieneman for a long time. Thieneman obviously having a way better combine, threw him up the board. More flashy combine, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I mean, it makes sense, though. I think they're just going to take a safety. They have to take a safety. They need one so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't really need other positions. They're in a good spot. I mean, they need quarterback, but they're not taking Ty Simpson here, I would hope.
Why
So,
not?
I
think that's an underrated pick.
you probably have to start right away.
Okay.
It's a problem. He needs to sit. So, I don't know. I think that it's just what they have to do. 19. This is a hard pick, in my opinion. I don't really know which way they want to go. Obviously, the receivers are off the board. I mean, you've got like other receiver options like Omar Cooper, if you wanted to. He's been rising a ton recently, and while I think that would be very interesting, I think that they're going to want to look a different direction, address some of their other holes with Jalen Coker looking so good towards the end of the year. They like Ted a lot. And they've got a lot of holes on this roster for sure. I just don't think that this is the best spot to fill those holes with how the board is falling. What do I want to do? I don't know why it says their only needs are D-line and linebacker.
For the Panthers
Mm-hmm.
and wide receiver.
Yeah, but I don't know why those are their only ones.
Tight end.
Tight end's definitely a need. If Sadiq was here, I'd take him. But he's
Elias Stowers. Just kidding.
19. What about edge? You ever looked at
I feel
edge
good
for the
about their...
Panthers?
Yeah, edge is also an option. I mean, they drafted 2 last year. Princely Uman more of a pure pass rusher and didn't look that great this year. Scored's a guy who you want to start for you, but I don't even know who their other if they have another edge rusher in that rotation who's like worth anything.
I'm just gonna do it again. I'm
At
gonna
safety,
take
they could
Peter
even use
Woods.
Yeah, I like that.
Makes
pick.
the most sense for them, and I think that this is, like I said, just such a bad spot to fill the holes that they have. So I think it just puts them in a tough spot, and this it's just the easy way out. I think.
Wow, taking the easy way out of everything.
Yeah, taking the easy way out. You've got another tough pick at 20, though.
I hate this pick so much.
It's always the worst one.
Good thing we got rid of it. Like, what a great draft to lose the 20th overall pick.
Yeah.
Too bad next season we'll lose the 32nd pick, but I guess that one's a little later, so not a big deal.
Bro's going to lose that 3rd overall pick.
Ooh. I think we could probably lose like 20 of our first top 20 guys on our roster, and we wouldn't get top 3 in the draft. It's hard to get top 3.
Depends who you lose.
Our top 20 players?
Top 20? Dude, you're 100%. You're getting the 1 pick. It's not close.
Yeah, okay, bro.
You're playing your 3rd string quarterback.
No.
Malik Willis is a top 20 player.
Malik Willis isn't going to be on our team next year. So we're going to be playing our backup because he's not going to be one of our 20 best
Clayton
players.
Tune.
Whoa. He's long gone.
Well, those are the types of guys you guys sign.
No,
And-
we have Desmond Ritter, and we have...
Oh, so you're going to be starting Desmond Ritter.
Okay, that's not that bad.
You're not starting any relevant defensive player ever. You are not playing any relevant offensive player ever.
Wicks might be there. Like, that'd be a great
Dude,
weapon.
Desmond Ritter, Dontavian Wicks, a 3rd string offensive line. Dude, I think you would probably win 0 games.
Yeah, okay, bro.
So, yeah, you would get the number 1 overall pick. You're right. You would get 3. But that's a crazy statement. Absolutely insane. Holy glaze for the Packers' depth.
Anyway, I'm not sure what that was about.
Dude, that'd look
Felt
like what you
personal.
did in the Vikings game. You basically benched your top 20 players.
Yeah, but we weren't trying. Anyway.
They were.
Cowboys. We just took a safety for them. They could use some edge help. It's a lot of them on the board. Keldrick Falk, in my opinion, is a faller because...
No, everyone's saying he's a faller.
Okay.
I've seen a bunch of people be like,
Because
he looked horrible at the combine. Is what
He
people
ran
say.
like a 4.76, which at that size is pretty impressive, I will say. But I was expecting a lot more from a guy who's an athlete.
Apparently his drills were terrible too.
It's unsurprising. His change direction's not good.
He's
cannot
just
turn
not
the
a good
corner.
prospect.
It's like he's too small to play DT, but his kind of play style would be better at DT because he's this run stuffer who's not going to really get to the quarterback. Like
Right.
that's not a first round pick, but we've been taking him here, so I'm going to take. Just kidding, I'm not taking him.
Yeah.
He definitely fell for me. None of the other edge rushers really rose. I wish T.J. Parker did better. R. Mason Thomas fell like crazy because he's not that good. That's what I heard. Apparently his 40 time was really bad for his size.
It's because he's undersized, so they thought.
But I'm
going
gonna
to
take Keem Messidor here. I think
Interesting.
they're a team that I really like Ezraku, but you need a good edge rusher next to him, and Keem Messidor day one will be a starting edge rusher, and they don't have another one. So, and age isn't really that big of a deal if you're just gonna start your rookie deal. Like, you're gonna give him for 5 years, so hopefully he's good.
Yeah, and I think that people are overblowing the age. He's a great prospect, even though he's old. Looked great next to Ruben Bain. See what he can do in the NFL. He's one of the more interesting guys I'm more excited to watch in the league because he has a very big range of outcomes, but also physically has a very high floor. So.
For sure.
21, though, to the Steelers. I'm going back to a classic. Welcome Ty Simpson to Pittsburgh, baby.
Seriously?
Yep. Ty Simpson to Pittsburgh. I think he's going to be a first-round guy. Whether that's somehow to the Rams at 13, whether that's somehow the Jets at 16, or, something else crazy. Whether it's the Steelers here at 21, whether it's the Rams at 29, anywhere, I don't care. I really do think that he's going to be a first-round pick, though. It's what it's really, really shaping up to be because, like we said, he must have heard something good. He must have heard it if he was going to come, and maybe that means he's an early second instead, but quarterbacks get reached on all the time. Remember Penix a couple years ago? We was like, oh, yeah, maybe he'll be a second-round guy, and maybe back half the first round. Dude went at 8. That is a huge difference.
To be fair, that was one of the biggest shocks in draft history.
Okay, I think that's a low glaze, but
I mean, He was a guy who, if you told, I think there's a better chance he went in the 4th round that draft than the 8th overall pick.
Well,
Like a
you were
top
wrong,
10 pick.
clearly. So.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, he was not being talked about as that high.
But
pick.
you see what quarterbacks are going to be the biggest shockers, falling wise and rising wise. I mean, they also fall like crazy, like Will Levis in that one year where he just fell out of the first round completely. So, there's just a lot of variety with quarterbacks, and I just feel like he's a guy that I feel like not enough people are talking about as a first rounder because I don't think he's talented enough to be a first rounder. But in this class, people are going to get desperate, and there's going to be. You can't convince me there's not one team in the league that's desperate enough that they're like, we'll take Ty Simpson. Maybe he's got a shot.
Yeah, I mean, it only takes one for a guy to be reached on.
Right.
So, I just think it's more likely that either the Cardinals or Jets will either stick and pick at 33 or whatever, or trade into the back half of the first round to get that 5th-year option. But then, rather than like the Steelers, I think this pick would be so bad.
I think it'd be a horrible pick, but it feels like a Steelers pick, dude. It feels like this like right where the Kenny Pickett pick was, and I feel like I could see it happening again. Mike McCarthy in there, definitely make that pick.
You sure? You wouldn't want to? You sure he doesn't want to run it back with Aaron Rodgers?
Maybe he does. I don't know.
Old time.
Run it back with Aaron Rodgers and have him sit on the bench. Feels like the most Mike McCarthy thing to do.
Avoid Mike McCarthy. What we used to draft back in the day?
Absolutely no one good.
No receivers.
Yeah. So you're not taking a receiver here, and that's what everyone thinks the Steelers should take it.
Yeah, I mean, they never take a first-round receiver.
And
always second-round
neither does Mike
receivers.
McCarthy. So that doesn't really feel like the best possibility here.
Yeah.
22 to the Chargers,
Vega.
though. You finally got a free pick.
Free. If he's there, they pick him.
Simple as that.
Zion Johnson's apparently wanting $20 million or whatever. Not sure what that's about, but
do not sign him for that.
I mean, I was thinking if the team signed him for 12, I'd be like, holy glaze, like $12 million, a lot of money for a dude who's on the worst interior.
He's the new
offensive
Aaron
line.
Banks, bro.
No, I'd rather have him than Aaron Banks.
Oh, Aaron Banks was not that bad, bro.
I didn't say he was bad.
For the same price, I'm taking Aaron Banks easily.
Okay.
Dude, Zion Johnson is bad.
Is he, though? He's their best lineman.
Dude, you just said 12 is Glaze. You tried to copium last year, but Aaron Banks was a good contract.
No, I didn't. I said it wasn't that bad.
No, you said it was a fine contract.
I was thinking because it was not that hard to get out of, and also he didn't have a huge sample size or something.
It was just copium, bro.
Yeah, a lot of it was copium. I went right when we signed him, I was like, oh my gosh. There's just no way that's where we're spending our resources.
Most Packers thing of all time. Maybe if you guys got an owner, then you could,
Ooh.
delegate those decisions better. But yeah, Vega, very obvious pick. Don't think we need to discuss that one too much more. 23 here to the Eagles. Who did we take last time? No idea.
I took Terrell.
That's right.
And you've taken Denzel Boston. And we're like, they're trading A.J. Brown.
What do you think of this pick?
Oh, no. Dude, this is just, you're like, let's throw a curveball pick every time.
Here we
it's
go.
Eagles.
We're going Spencer Fano.
Oh, he's still on the board?
He's still on the board here.
Bro, I hate that they have him so low on here because he goes way before. And I just never
there's
think
no
about
one
him.
I'm taking him to in the last long time. There's just no one that needs a tackle. Yeah, there's no one I'm taking him to. So if this is a possibility,
he could go to the Lions.
maybe.
They could go to the
But then you'd have to
Steelers,
pass on Bain or Fano.
Steelers, Cowboys.
I don't see them. I don't see the Cowboys taking him or the Steelers, honestly.
Chargers, if they want to play him at guard and have
They're not
tackle
taking.
insurance.
They're not taking Fano. But yeah, Spencer Fano's on the board. So I'm gonna take him to the Eagles. You get a young developing tackle behind Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson's playing again this year, right?
Yeah.
So, but you can play him at guard until he kicks back out or something.
Mm-hmm.
And once Lane Johnson retires, I mean, this is insane value at 23, and that feels like the Eagles. That feels like the Eagles' mojo. Let's wait to see who the obvious pick is. Once he falls, we'll take him, and then guess what? It'll be good. So, This feels like a perfect pick here. Scrolling down, I saw Spencer Fano. I was like, wait.
Dude, look who I'm picking for now.
The Browns.
Would have been nice to have Fano here.
Could you imagine they got him at 24?
I mean, you wanted me to pick it for them at 6, which
Yeah.
just shows how bad of a pick that would have been.
No,
So,
he just fell very far.
we haven't watched live and stuff. I mean, this filmed a day early. Not too much will change.
We're taking
I
a
assume.
tackle here, right? Please.
Maybe.
There needs to be a tackle.
Caden Proctor and Monroe Freeling are two guys that I could see rising, which is a little unfortunate that we're recording this a little bit in advance, but
Mm-hmm.
could also see Ahina Chor rising. It's definitely probably between those three, I'd say.
Yeah.
Or Omar Cooper. Just kidding.
Already took hers. Yeah, you know what would have been nice? Taking Spencer Fano at 6 and then taking Omar Cooper at 24. That would have been nice,
I
right?
think Proctor's either not going to be here or will not be taken with this pick. I feel like his combine is very telling. He's going to be it's going to be very important for him.
He's not going to split down the middle or anything.
No, I highly doubt
You
that.
should have taken Fano at 6. You could have taken Omar Cooper here. It would have been perfect.
I'm taking Max Ahina Chor.
Okay. Don't know
I think he's
anything
gonna have
about him.
I think he's gonna have a great combine. Super athletic, had an amazing Senior Bowl. He's a guy I could see rising. He's a guy who I've heard a lot of people say he's a lock for a first rounder. So if he's a lock for the first, I don't even know if Monroe Freeling will go in the first round. I feel like there's a better chance he will not than will. So I'm confused.
There's a lot
why
of
he's at
teams that need
22.
tackles. So you never
There's
know.
so many tackles here.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Like, why is there so many at the back half of the first round?
I don't know.
There's also
'Cause
Blake
nobody knows
Miller,
what to
who's
do with
not
them.
here, but Dan Jeremiah's favorite player of all time.
Blake
So-
Miller is here.
Oh, he is. They did raise him up. I meant
Oh, I thought you meant
Close.
like not available. It's like we have not taken him, bro. Okay, this is an easy pick for me.
it is
Yeah, CJ Allen.
interesting.
I mean, they need a linebacker.
I'm kind of
pretty
surprised
bad.
how high people are on him. I mean, he's not exactly the prototypical linebacker, which is normally the ones that go in the first round.
Yeah.
6'1",
But I mean, that's not like small for a linebacker.
he's also not like that athletic. What do you run, like in the 4.5s? Like
I don't know. I'm not sure.
pretty athletic,
but
but nothing crazy.
They need a linebacker pretty bad.
Yeah.
Edmonds getting cut and everything. I think that they but I don't think it's a bad pick at 25. They don't have as many holes as maybe you would expect, I guess.
Mhm.
But safety's off the board, both of them. So you're definitely not looking there, which I think is probably their next spot to look at.
Mhm.
And so you go linebacker, and you maybe reach a little bit on Allen here, but positional need.
Mhm.
Think it makes sense. Simple as that.
Interesting. I mean, I wouldn't be too mad if they went with that, but
This makes maybe your pick easy again.
very easy. Denzel Boston, I guess.
Interesting. That does feel like a really Bills pick, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah. And normally he's not here, even though I think he will be. He kind of seems to be slowly falling down drafts a
Well,
bit.
with the combine and stuff, Omar Cooper rising so much
Mhm.
recently, like it feels like he's gonna get pushed down.
Yeah, and they want a big body guy. They drafted Keon Coleman, signed Josh Palmer. They've been trying to find that guy. Both of them have been terrible. I mean, Palmer, I wouldn't say is terrible, but he's not played a role, basically.
He's not an X.
Even though you said, oh, high yards per catch, he's so good. It was like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
on the Chargers.
Yeah, but they've been trying to add an X. He profiles very well as an X. A lot of people have had Malachi Fields here. After he just ran like a 4.63, please, Bills, do not take him if you want to not get fired, because a 4.63 in the first round at receiver, unless you're like 6'6", 250, I wouldn't want that.
Right. So
Which I don't know if you'd be playing receiver at that point.
yeah, that's very true. Probably tight end, but yeah, I mean, it just feels like a Bills receiver. They
Mhm.
want their big body guy, like you said, and so I don't know. But I could also see him dropping to like second overall in the second round, like someone trades
Yeah,
up.
I
He
think
feels like a
that kinda
Sutton
feels like what it
situation,
feels like,
getting
yeah.
the second round or something.
Oh, so that is where he went.
So anyway, 27 to the Niners. I've seen a Sadiq mocked here, which I think is interesting. But I think we might have mocked Sadiq here before.
Not landing here anymore.
But you're looking at things like edge, but they've invested some stuff into edge, so I don't know. It says edge is a big need, but I don't know how much I agree with that. What do we want here, though? I'm honestly looking at Omar Cooper
Good pick.
because
Pearsall's your number one right now.
they just need a receiver. He's rising up boards. I think he's going to go higher than this, so I'm going to stop the Omar Cooper fall because I think he's risen up.
Took him
to above
here
this.
3 weeks ago. Yeah, I think he'll raise it to the first round. I know it's a 3-round reach right now. Now it's, oh yeah, he fell here.
Well, that's what it feels like. It feels like he's going up and
Mhm.
up and up and up. So I'm going to take him here. I feel like he's going to go even higher than this and be a great pick for the Niners here at 27.
Yeah, he's 40. Really impressive. He ran a 4.42. I was kind of hoping he'd clear the 4.5 mark just barely, 4.49-ish. I mean, the 4.42 is really good for him, and he's
Very
so good after catch. He's got such a good feel for making people miss. Good route runner, good hands, really just good at everything. So, and also very good after the catch.
Yeah, very, very good after the catch. Exciting young player for sure. So you get him at 27. It's a good pick.
Yeah.
28 to the Texans.
Which lineman today?
Which lineman today?
Or do I take Mike Washington?
What?
I mean, I definitely need to figure something out at running back.
Yeah, you're not taking him in the first round.
They should sound like Brees or something. What lineman can I take? We haven't taken Blake Miller in any mocks.
Go ahead.
Who do I think will rise? I feel like it'd just be weird to not take Caden Proctor. I'm not gonna lie.
He's gonna rise at the combine
because I feel like he's a combine riser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
Is that your pick?
I guess that's where I'm gonna go with.
He feels like a guy who could easily go to the Texans.
I mean, Ursery's already super oversized tackle. I feel like that'd be kind of a weird fit, but whatever. And
You know,
he's
kick
gonna
him
be
into
learning
guard.
under Trent Brown, who's the fattest lineman in the NFL. So
And you can kick him into guard.
they're
if you
very
really need to.
similar sizes. I wonder what the size comparison is.
I'm excited to watch Caden Proctor tomorrow. I feel like watching him run a 40 is going to be funny because he's so big. But we'll see.
I think he's gonna run a good 40.
I think he will too, but it's going to be funny. Like he's going to make one of those funny faces. He just feels like that kind of guy.
Wow.
It's always the big linemen that are fast that make those faces.
Armand Membu.
He's the one that was like screaming. Right? Yeah, he actually made that noise. Oh, it's so funny. All right, 29. This is easy. You know where I'm going, right?
You already took a corner.
Oh yeah, I did. Frick, I was gonna go Cisse. Frick. Wait,
Where are you gonna go? You already stole Tim Simpson from you.
wait. I don't know what to do now. Then there's no one else they want. It's just gonna be another best player available.
Best player available. What do you mean another one? You took
I told
Terrell.
I told you that's what I thought they were gonna do there, but I didn't know who they wanted. What about Lee Hunter?
very surprised if he's a first round pick. His combine was not that great, and he's already fringe first rounder.
Dude, I don't know what to do. Like a
What's
young
their-
tackle or something?
The linebacker value isn't exactly here. Their
Linebacker.
tackles are 24 and 23. Like, why would they replace them? Such a dumb thing for PFF to say they need it. So their center isn't great, I believe.
Take
Who's their
Pregnon,
center?
maybe?
Well, their guards, I like their guards. They got Kevin Dotson and then Steve Avila. I don't remember who their center is. I
Not taking like Jake Slaughter.
could take Kansas State center. I don't know if he's going to have a good combine. I've never seen him this high, though. But he's probably the best center, right? Sam Hack.
Dude, I don't know who to take.
Take a receiver to play the slot.
Is there really one here?
Concepcion. No one else is going here.
Dude, what? This is rough. What if I just take another corner?
Could take Eli Stowers. But, I mean,
What if I just take another corner?
that'd be a weird draft.
But then you get your corner, you can start day one and your developmental one.
Yeah, your corner you start day one is just being picked way later.
Yeah.
You clearly just sold with the Terrell pick. Like, I don't know what that was. But Terrell at 13's crazy.
I don't know who else they would have taken there.
Ruben Bain.
No, that doesn't
Would
make
you rather
any
have
sense.
Ruben Bain or Brandon Cisse? And Brandon Cisse or Brandon Cisse and it's
I'd rather have Jared Verse and Byron Young. Because that's who they have. So they're not going to
Yeah,
take
they're not
Bain.
getting rid of them.
This is tough, dude. I don't know who to take. Concepcion, welcome to the Rams.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone thinks they're going to take a slot, so why not
Worst.
take a slot?
You are so bad. Rams fans, you can start complaining.
Dude, no.
Holy
you guys,
cell.
you
If
guys-
this was their draft haul, like, they just wasted the gift they had. Like, what are we doing?
You guys want a slot at the Rams? You keep yelling at me in the comments saying they're going to take a slot.
Makai Lemon
There
is a
you go.
special player.
There you go. You got a slot. I gave you a slot. I hope you're happy. This is for you
This is why
guys.
you go best player available
This,
and you don't force
this
a corner
is
at
for
13
you
if
guys.
it's not there.
I gave you a slot. All
Should I
right.
punish you here?
30. No, what? You take the best player available. I
Well,
don't know.
that's not true.
don't really
I
know
know
who
who
it
I'm
is.
taking, though.
Who?
Jacob Rodriguez.
Brother.
No one's talking about him as a riser, but I think he was the best. I think he answered all of his questions at the combine.
Interesting.
I don't remember exactly his 40 time,
It was good, though.
but it was good. And good. It was really good for him.
PFF grade. Holy shit.
Yeah, he was a Heisman.
Yeah,
runner-up.
no, I know. He was extremely good this season. but I
He
didn't think was
forced
23.
what was it, 14 turnovers, like in
No
a season.
way. He had 20 missed tackles.
That doesn't matter.
And 22 the year before.
That doesn't matter. Okay, look at his picks. Look at his forced fumbles.
They're not on here.
Well, PFF hates him for not putting that on there.
Dude, 20 missed tackles?
He's got
42 missed
He's
tackles
got a
in the
nose
last
for
2
the
years?
football, you know.
Dude, 42 missed tackles in the last... What's a bad missed tackle percentage?
What is it, like 7% maybe? I don't know what linebackers is.
Is 7% bad?
Well,
His is
definitely over 10% is really
His is
bad.
over 20.
Well, it's not.
He has 94 tackles.
That's probably solo
And
tackles.
1 he missed. Are assist tackles and... It says tackles and then assist tackles.
Yeah, so what's the added? You add them.
Okay, 124. So his is... What's 1/6?
Under 20. Clears that threshold
Yeah,
of
that's-
absolutely terrible.
Like what?
Well, the thing is,
18%
a lot
or
of this
something?
is because he's forcing all the turnovers.
Dude, 17% missed tackle rate.
He just gets the ball.
17%.
He's got the perfect
What the hell?
punch out, you know.
I don't care. 17%.
Okay, I got you guys a playmaker. You're welcome.
You got us Alex Singleton.
No, I got you Alex Singleton if he could force a fumble every other game.
I don't want that.
I would.
I don't.
I think he's the guy. His only question was speed, and he answered that.
I only have one question. It's can you tackle?
Yeah, on film he's tackling. I don't know
It
how they
doesn't
got
look
this
like
many
it.
missed tackles.
Doesn't look like it. Does not look like
They
it.
probably counted like when he like goes in, he's like the last one there, and he tries to punch it out. And they're like, "Oh, whoa, missed
I gotta
tackle."
go watch some film of Jacob Rodriguez because I was very excited that you made this pick, and then I looked at his missed tackle numbers. What the frick is that?
Womp womp.
That is ridiculous.
I feel like Jake Golday really missed an opportunity with his 40. I thought it'd be a lot better. He looks faster on film.
Well, what's
Like if he ran a
Dude.
4.45 or whatever, or like a 4 in the 4.4s somewhere, he would be my pick here easily. But I think his
I
was in the
cannot
4.6s.
believe that he has that many missed tackles. That better be just like a PFF dumb stat thing where they like boost it up for no reason. Like
Well,
everyone else says
okay,
he's got
bro.
like 5.
Yeah, so how does he miss 18% of his tackles and have a 93 PFF grade?
That makes absolutely no sense. There's got to be something
He
that
makes up for it by forcing turnovers. Getting TFLs. He has so many TFLs.
Makes no
He's basically just plays like a Madden user.
It makes no sense, bro. All right, 31. I'm looking at edge here. Right? Catch
There's a
towel's
lot of
obviously off
value
the board. Get rid of catch towel. Keldrick Folk is still falling, in my opinion.
I think this is Keldrick Fall could easily go here.
I do, but I want to keep him falling. So I'm
Okay.
I'm gonna
Poor guy.
I'm gonna take TJ Parker.
Yeah, I like TJ Parker.
He didn't rise like crazy or anything, but he rose at the Senior Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And with Keldrick Folk falling, that means TJ Parker can move ahead of him. And I'm gonna take him here to the Patriots who need an edge. So
Yeah, I mean, I really like that pick.
thank you.
Unlike when you took R. Mason Thomas, who can't defend the run, and put
Hey,
him with
R.
other
Mason
other
Thomas
edge
is
rushers that
good.
can't defend the
R.
run.
Mason Thomas is good. You
Okay,
guys
well,
need-
TJ Parker can defend the run, and
I've
none of
seen
them
one game of R.
can.
Mason Thomas, and he was really good in that one game.
Yeah, and he's also had a really bad combine.
No,
Mike Washington here, right?
stop with the glaze, bro.
Well, he was like a what? Early third rounder. Just ran a 4.33 at 225 pounds.
Bro, look how far down he is on their list.
Yeah, I mean,
He's ranked 160.
okay. Well,
He's behind Allen, Ott, Moss, Singleton,
wait,
McGowan,
Ott?
Johnson.
I thought I was gonna be high on Ott because I'm just
Coleman
confused.
and
I haven't
Price.
watched him, but okay,
He's
that's
like
crazy.
he's like the 9th running back available right now.
Yeah, my sleeper back. Unfortunately,
Not a sleeper anymore.
might be a
A
second.
third round pick is not a sleeper, by the way.
Yeah, it is. If I think he was worth a second.
It's not a sleeper.
Well, maybe
This guy's a little undervalued. My sleeper. A sleeper is like a 5th, 6th round
I
guy.
haven't watched running backs really.
Okay, then you can't call him a sleeper.
That's
like calling Omar Cooper sleeper.
I noticed
bro.
him
He's in
while I
the
was
first
watching
round.
Taylor Green. So
Omar Cooper's in the first round of the draft. You're
Yeah,
calling him a
well.
sleeper.
yeah, I mean he was like a 3rd rounder when I said
That's
that.
still not a sleeper.
A 3rd rounder who I think should be taken in the top 20 is a sleeper.
It's not a sleeper. It's
That
a
is
guy
a
who's
sleeper.
a hidden gem.
No, that's a sleeper.
No, a sleeper is a guy that no one no one thinks is okay.
Okay, bro.
Like no one thinks is good. It has to be
Sure.
no one thinks is good. That's what a sleeper is. Anyway, 32. Who you taking?
I don't want to take Cisse again. Like that's so lame. Should I just take another guy who I think
It's been a
helped
while
himself
since
a
we've
lot?
taken Cisse.
Bro, every single time I've had this pick, I've taken Cisse. You just take Pregnon and I take Cisse.
Oh,
Literally 2 picks. So
There's
yeah,
not
you can
any
go
other
with
picks to
either of
make.
those guys. Linebacker, I don't really think's a need. Ernest Jones is really good, and then
McKay's obsessed with Ernest Jones.
he's amazing. And there are other
Holy
linebackers,
glaze,
Tyrese
amazing.
Knight, and then they had the other dude,
Amazing?
42 or whatever. his
What
name
type
is.
of word is amazing to describe Ernest Jones?
top 10 linebacker?
We've gone over this. He's not a top 10 linebacker.
He is a top 10 linebacker.
We've gone through it. He's
No,
not.
No, well, you went through it.
No, we went through it together, and you
No.
go, "Oh, maybe he's not," but he's definitely top 15. That's basically what you said.
top 12 for sure.
Okay, he's not top 10.
He is top 10.
You can't say a guy is amazing and not top 10 in his position.
He is top 10.
We will go. You want to go through this right now?
Sure.
On the air. Okay. Fred Warner,
Fred Warner. There you go.
Edrin Cooper. Say yes.
Barely. Okay, go.
Just say yes. Dre Greenlaw when he plays.
No.
When he
No.
plays.
No. No. No.
Just because he's not healthy. Is
If
that
he
why?
played every single snap this season, I don't think he would have had a better year. Dre Greenlaw's not better. Okay, let's move on. Like that's not even a conversation.
Dre Greenlaw on the field. He's
Dre Greenlaw
100%
on the field.
If you want to argue, oh, he didn't play, so that's why. Like as much, fine. You can't argue he's not a better player on the field. Like tell me you don't know ball.
I'm not arguing it because it's a fact, so I don't have to argue.
You want to go through division, like division by division? Jack Campbell, obviously way better because he's an All-Pro.
I would disagree.
People are gonna be really upset with you
Womp
about
womp,
that.
cry
one.
about it.
Really upset. You got Blake Cashman.
No, I like Blake Cashman, but no.
You just really like Ernest Jones, like you want to. So.
Can we even say that?
We gotta cut that.
I don't really know what linebackers they need. Obviously, Ernest Jones is him. Running back, they're bringing back Kenneth Walker. I
It
don't
doesn't
know
seem
why
like
they
it.
wouldn't,
It doesn't seem like they are.
but why not?
I don't.
Charbonnet's not playing.
They don't want him.
Charbonnet tore his ACL. He's missing the first month and a half.
They're gonna draft someone. Right here.
Mike Washington.
Right here.
But I'm going. Oh, who was I gonna take? I don't know if he's gonna rise this much. I haven't seen other people talk about it, but oh, he is pretty low, 56th.
Who?
Jeez. I'm gonna take Chris Johnson. The guy people were saying, hopefully he avoids the 4.6s, and he ran a 4.4 flat. I mean, that's amazing. He's a really good off coverage corner. I believe in man coverage he struggled a little bit this season, which is why at the Senior Bowl he was a bit of a stock down guy. Which if you're a zone corner, Senior Bowl's not the place for you to shine at all. It's hard to shine as a corner at all at the Senior Bowl because one-on-ones are very favored towards the receiver. So he might have gotten cooked a couple of times, but in the right scheme, this is a guy. I mean, do the Seahawks run a lot of zone? I actually have no idea.
They play a lot of everything. They just are very good, well schemed, well coached team from Mike
Well,
McDonald.
I mean, you need to get another corner in there. I think Chris Johnson can be a great player. I mean,
Bit
you
of
could
a
also
reach for
slot
sure.
in Cisse if you want, but I just want to mix things up. I pick
What
Cisse
about
every
Colton
single
Hood?
time. I'm good.
You could have taken him.
Didn't want to.
He's a lot more likely to go here
Is he though? I mean,
right now.
a
Yeah.
4.4 for Chris Johnson's like a 4.2 something for
Whoa,
something else.
whoa! That's glaze.
Dude.
That's glaze. That's glaze. That's glaze. That's glaze.
People thought he'd run a 4.6
That's glaze.
at corner.
Anyway, interesting pick. Definitely a reach, but could rise up the board.
I'm
with the
curious where
combine.
he'll end up rising to. I haven't
It'll be
seen any
interesting.
other mock drafts, so.
And all the offensive linemen, obviously. But comment down below who your biggest combine riser was. I'm very interested to see. And let us know what you think of this crazy mock draft. I think this is one of our wildest ones yet.
And we're trying to overreact to the combine a
Yeah.
little bit.
And if you made it to this point in the video, it probably means you enjoyed. So you should subscribe, like the video. It helps us out a ton. So we really, really appreciate it. And have a good one, everybody.